So we normally do this every at the start of every season. We normally do like a preseason preview of the different divisions. As we go through these teams in these divisions, we give you our predictions for each team, where we see them going, how far do we see them going, and basically what's the projection their season is going to be like. So, and today we'll be focusing on the Atlantic division.
Yes,
So
sir.
in the Atlantic, we have several teams here. You got the Celtics, the Nets, the Knicks, the Sixers, and Raptors. Um, honestly, we go team by team. Honestly, Zay.
Yeah.
At the Atlantic, man, we kind of talked about Boston a little bit with our. We were talking about the trade that happened
Mm-hmm.
previously. So, I mean, me personally, you know me, I project Boston to go to the like Eastern Conference Finals at least. And right now, I project them to go to the finals for sure.
Okay.
All their additions and everything, so they should be able to get at least the Eastern Conference Finals. So yeah, what do you think about Boston?
I do believe that they're going to be in contention for a chip. I think they finish at least in top three in the East. They should, with the talent that they have. Hopefully, everything goes well health wise. We
Mm-hmm.
definitely want to see how they look with the Brown and Tatum dynamic. Brown got this huge extension this year, and I hope that he is able to improve on his talent, being able to take up a bit more of a bigger role, just being a bigger impact overall. But yeah, I think they're top three team in the East, potentially the league. Yeah, that's where I'm at with Boston, man. I think they're super stacked talent.
Yep. All right. I can also say that Boston could have a potential MVP candidate there as well. I'm expecting Jason Tatum to finish at least in top three voting this year.
Hmm.
Like, he should.
That's fair.
Jalen Brown just got paid. I remember seeing this conversation. Shout out to KG Certified, bro.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Certified Smoker. They were all there together, bro. They had a good conversation about where Jalen Brown should be. He's being paid like a top 5, 10 player,
Yeah.
So he should, based on those metrics, improve and him himself be like an MVP candidate. Like, he should improve. So they
Absolutely.
should both be candidates to make the All NBA team. I'm expecting Jalen Brown, since she got paid, get on the higher tier than last year. I think that's the least that I can expect for Jalen Brown. Got paid, at least get to like second team. At least.
Sure.
I expect JT to be first team. So, yeah. All right. I guess we move on to the Knicks.
The New York Knicks.
New York Knicks. Man.
I personally like Jalen Brunson. I like Julius Randle when his head is in the game. I feel like we haven't really seen him focus in like the later half of the season, whether that's from injury or just
I mean, talking about fans and all this stuff.
the environment.
It wasn't looking good, bro.
Yeah. Overall, I think the Knicks have enough talent to be in the playoffs. I don't really see them. I don't know. It's kind of like to me, they can only go as far as they went last year. I don't see them going further than that. Overall, I think the roster still overall the same. Still got Mitchell Robinson. Still have RJ Barrett, who I hope is also. I hope all these guys improve. I think Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, but I think that's like the biggest question, though. It's always gonna be him and Randall, the biggest questions on this team. Like, do they actually improve? You know,
Yeah.
And RJ got paid as well. I'm expecting him to really improve.
Yeah.
Like he should. So yeah, and they didn't really just do a whole lot in the off season.
Mhm.
I mean, they got Dante
Yeah,
DiVincenzo,
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah. Sorry for butchering your
Hey,
name, man. I apologize.
you
But, yeah,
good?
Dante. So
Oh,
like,
sorry,
and
Dante.
again, like I like his grit and his hustle. We've seen it. Uh, was he like with the Warriors last year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we saw that with the Warriors, and he was a very good plus for them. So he gets
yeah,
you shooting. I mean, they just didn't really make a whole lot of just. I mean, they can't really do a whole lot with what they have, and I mean, they resigned Hart. I mean,
I think that was a good
just
move, at least.
yeah, I'm glad they resigned him
I
for
like that
sure.
timing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and they got rid of Obi Toppin,
Mm.
and they declined to sign Derrick Rose. So, I mean, D Rose is in Memphis now. Like we
Yeah.
talked about that before too. So those are some. And although D Rose didn't really play that much last season too, but I would never mitigate or minimize the impact that a veteran can have on a team. Just a veteran presence.
Yeah.
So especially someone the caliber of D Rose. And I don't know. They lost a lot of pieces last year that I think could be potential pluses through the off season. This team, I agree with you. They should look about the same as last year.
Yeah.
Same. I mean, record wise, where they go in the playoffs and all that. Like, it should be about the same.
Yeah. I don't see them winning more than like 45 games. And that's no knock to them. I just think that they're also in a very tough position with the other teams they have to compete with. Especially like two of them in their own division here with Boston and Philly. I think are going to rival them a lot. Like I said, I really think that it comes down to if Julius Randle can be consistent, if RJ Barrett can improve. Jalen Brunson, I think, has played great basketball over the past season, even in FIBA this summer. I think his confidence is just getting higher. I think he is going to be a consistent level all-star for them, in my opinion. I think he should be. But other than that, there are a lot of questions with this team. Evan Fournier being on the bench, one of the best shooters in the league. I think he hadn't played in like 50 games, in my opinion, or at least that I can remember. Do they have any depth that they can add with since they have now, sent Obi Toppin to Indiana, can quickly be like a bigger role, I guess. I don't know. Those are the questions here. Are they responding to Tibbs or are they not? I really think they have enough to be middle of the way.
The pack, yeah. And based on the season goes, Tibbs could be on the hot seat, bro, for real. Like, it's all about how players respond to you, too. If I don't see these players improve, man, I'm like, they rather look at the coach first than the players. So,
yeah.
Because it's hard to, they can't really reset a whole lot. I mean, what could they do?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see them, they can't tank. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know, bro. That'll be middle. That's some of the worst places to be as a team. Middle of the pack, because you have aspirations to compete on that next level, but at the same time, the players you have on the team are not like prospects anymore. It's different from like a team like, I'm gonna use my team as an example, OKC. That's different. We're growing, we're young, we're growing in experience, getting that experience. Getting to playoffs is enough for us. Being in that middle is enough because we're learning and growing. But if you're a team like the Knicks and whose fans expect them to try to go somewhere, it's tough. It's a hard situation to be in, man.
100%.
Anyway, let's keep going. It's Brooklyn Nets, man. The Nets, they had a couple of picks in the first round last year. They drafted a good potential wing in Whitehead, and they also drafted a big man too, Noah Clowney. So, however, a lot of shooters are gone. Seth Curry's gone. Patty Mills is gone. Joe Harris is gone.
Yeah.
Utah is gone. So like, it's tough. But they did bring in Dennis Smith Jr. And Lonnie Walker is there. So it gives you some athleticism. However, that they can only go as far as Ben Simmons goes. Ben Simmons, man. So I don't know if you saw his preseason, but you saw what he was doing in the preseason. He looked like he was being a little aggressive. He was going to the hole. You know, he said himself that he wants to have a good year this year. I don't remember the exact quote right now, but he was implying that, you know, he wants to really have a successful season and remind people who he is. You know, I like that. I like that, but
definitely,
it's all about what they do, man.
I agree. Ben Simmons needs to be the Ben Simmons of old, or let me not say that. He needs to be a new Ben Simmons. He needs to evolve, be better. And yeah, he did. I think he did come out and say he's healthy. He's wanting to, you know, go on a revenge tour, which I would love to see, because I think he has a lot of talent, man. Even if he struggles with confidence or shooting, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, he's a really good basketball player who I think can be helpful to any team. My overall look at the Nets is that they aren't a bad team.
No, they're not. It's a decent roster. I'm looking through the roster now. Like, you got Dinwiddie, you got Cam Thomas, who had, if he improved his offseason, he could have a good year this year as well. You know? He went on a little tear.
Yeah.
Last season. I already talked about Lonnie Walker, Dennis Smith. They also got Cameron Johnson, Mikal Bridges. Like, these are good players. Like, I like the roster.
Yeah.
I like the roster, but unfortunately, kind of like what we talked about with the Knicks a little bit. It's tough being in that division because you play those teams multiple times a year.
Yeah.
So it's not going to help your record. Yeah, man. And they got Dorian Finney-Smith. I forgot about that with that trade. This is a good roster. I like this roster.
I think it's a good roster too. I just think that they're going to be reminiscent of that D'Lo-led Brooklyn Nets team. I feel like there's a lot of young talent, eager to prove themselves, guys wanting to come back and be better, like Ben Simmons. Mikal Bridges expected to be in Phoenix, and now he's in Brooklyn. I think he, to me, is taking some leaps as a leader. I think he can be a main option or the number one option on the team. He's obviously got defensive prowess.
Yeah.
You talked about like Cam Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think they have a lot of eager talent there that they want to prove themselves, but they're just in a very tough conference. I think that they make the playoffs, probably like a lower seed, but a lot of good talent, man. Spencer Dinwiddie, a guy who can get buckets, he can do everything. So it'll be fun. I think that'll be a really fun team to watch. I just don't expect them to be winning playoff series like that, just because it's in a tough conference, man. Like,
right.
A lot of talent.
Do you think they'll make? Do you expect them to make the playoffs though?
I do. I think they lower seed playoffs, like maybe 7, 8. Like, I guess at this point, like play-in wise, like maybe 7 through 10, somewhere in there, that they take up one of those spots.
Yeah.
And
Also, Bridges, he spent time in the Team USA,
Yep,
and I think I saw him growing his leadership with that team as well. So that's another reason that to expect some good things from him from there. So
absolutely. Probably the only one of the only guys besides his teammate Cam Johnson who has been to a finals, had deep playoff runs, so they'll bring a little bit of experience. He's not a veteran, in my opinion. He's not like older than most of these guys. So, but he has a good experience for sure.
yeah, yeah. At some point, man, we also got to talk about this tournament
Oh yeah.
because
Once I understand it.
they're getting grouped because they're grouped based on different things, and they're in the Knicks. I mean, the Nets are in like East Group C, and we'll dedicate a podcast in the future breaking down the in-season tournament because there's a lot of different things going on. There's knockout rounds. There's a
Yeah.
prize pool. There's an MVP that's going to come out the tournament and all tournament team, and there's supposed to be a prize pool, and yeah, we'll talk about that later, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back to this our purposes with this is not in season tournaments predictions and stuff like that. We'll get to that later. This is just about postseason. So I agree with you. They should be in the bottom tier in the postseason. They should definitely make the play in. But I can. It all depends on Ben Simmons, bro. For me, because if Ben Simmons turns out to have like an amazing year, I can see them being in the solid middle of the pack type, you know, playoff flight, playoff team,
Yeah.
and they can avoid the play in. But otherwise, if he doesn't, they'll at least be in the play in. I think.
I think so.
Yeah, that's my prediction.
Yeah.
All right. I honestly want to say
Yeah.
Philly for last because we got a lot to talk about with Philly. So let's let's go with the Raptors, man, real quick.
Oh God. Okay.
Let's go with the Raptors.
Yeah. Toronto to
They
me.
got go ahead. They got rid of
Oh,
some
my bad.
key players, so I don't know what they're
Yeah.
gonna do. Go ahead.
Toronto to me has some potential, even though they lost Van Fleet in the offseason. I'm really looking at Scotty Barnes. I want to see if he takes a leap, if he improves his game, if he becomes like more of a focal point. Siakam, obviously, there have been like a lot of trade rumors and different things being discussed around his contract and everything. So I don't know how that might end or progress through like the season. But they have a lot of good wing players, I think. 3
They
and D
do,
guys.
and they drafted a good one too. That has potential.
Yeah. I think this team can be a sleeper team. They can be really talented. They're like I said, lengthy, long guys that could be problems for teams on like defensively they could match up with a lot of teams very well, I think. So I feel like that alone gives them a chance to win a good bit of games. I'm not saying they're going to be like championship contending or anything like that, but I think that they are going to be disregarded by like the common NBA watchers, so to speak. I think that they have
Yeah.
they're just like that sleeper cell to me. I feel like they can be dangerous if they find
Mm-hmm.
the rhythm. Like it may take a while, but I feel like they could be a solid team, like mid playoff level, mid East team, something like that.
Yeah, like 5 through 8 range
Yeah,
playoff team for
yeah,
sure. And it all depends too on Scotty Barnes if he takes another leap. I think he needs to take that another leap for them to really get there. And it also depends what they plan to do with these potential free agents because OG Ananobi is upcoming. He's a big free agent soon, and he's a valuable commodity. So if you feel like if you're the Raptors, if you feel like he may not resign, they may trade him during the year. If you trade him, that's definitely going to impact what they can do because he's that valuable. And another person too is who else is upcoming? I saw definitely him. And the reason I know is because I'm looking at him. I'm like, bro, that'd be so good. Any team should want to have OG. So,
100%. Solid
but
dude.
tripping. Siakam, if he doesn't stay, he's upcoming free agent too. So I knew it was somebody else. Basically, some core players on their team are
Yeah.
coming up for free agency. So, Raptors, can you resign these core players? If not, go ahead and trade them. And
Yeah.
I know one trade contender. I mean, I know the Heat could definitely use both of them, and don't mess it up. Like, yeah, that would be dope though. I would love to see OG with the Heat. That would be a nice fit to me. And Siakam, of course, you can definitely have more front court depth if you're the Heat. So,
yeah, not mad at that.
those could be y'all type of players too. I feel like mentality wise, probably. So,
yeah. Well,
but yeah, it all depends on that though. They got a lot of free agents coming up.
Yeah.
I ain't mentioned some others. Gary Trent, Otto Porter. Dang.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Good squad.
Yeah, this could be the end of this version of the Raptors is coming up. So, and we're gonna go into the era of Scotty Barnes and his team. So that's what I'm saying. He needs to step up so he can take full reins of the franchise. Be that franchise player. Right now, I don't see it yet. He has potential, but can he take hold of being that franchise player? You know what I'm saying? And lead the team. So,
yeah.
And by the way, they got Dennis Schroeder. I forgot to mention that as a free agent signing they got. So he replaces Fred VanVleet. So that further gives me confidence that this team can be 5 through 8 for sure.
Yeah, they got solid
5 through 8, firmly in the playoffs for sure. This team. Now, I don't see him making too much far to pass. I think they can give a run to some of these teams at the top. So
yeah, I think they can get most teams with their just the type of players that they have.
For sure, definitely
depends on what the front office does, where guys' minds are, as far as free agency, trade rumors, and otherwise, guys are going to be playing hard to get better contracts. So I think that's a big factor.
That's awesome. Very good point. Very good point. Now the team that I'm pretty sure we'll spend a little bit of time on, because I don't know what to say about this team, man. Philadelphia. And I can't further make a prediction because I don't know. They know what they're doing. So
I don't think anyone knows right now. The thing with Philly right now, obviously James Harden requested the trade, doesn't trust the front office. Daryl Morey is a liar. We've heard it all. And right now he's still on the team. He showed up to training camp. He's playing, I guess. But how's it going to impact the team? Is it going to be a distraction? Can Joel Embiid stay healthy? Which is like the question we ask probably every season. We know he's world-class talent. I think it's just kind of a lot that's weighing on the stars of these. I mean, on the shoulders of these stars with Embiid. I don't question his will for the game. I think he wants to win. He wants to play, but it's just health is the main thing. If he can stay healthy, I don't think we've seen a healthy Joel Embiid in a playoff series in ever, probably. So if he can last throughout the season, that gives them a chance. And I outside of even without Harden, if they move him, if they don't, the team that they have is solid enough to me to be able to go out there and compete for a chip, compete with Boston, compete with pretty much the powerhouses of the East. It's just right now questionable because of the Harden situation. once that's resolved, I fully expect this team to like really get it in gear. I hope they do. I hope it's not too distracting. And if they end up keeping Harden for at least some of this season, hopefully they can work together. I honestly don't think Harden has an issue with any of his current teammates. I think it's just Daryl Morey in the front office. So maybe it'll work out as far as playing on the court, but when it comes to the business side, he's like not there. So,
and to go off of that, he has been practicing, and he also praised Nick Nurse. So you're right, no issue with them. It's all about Daryl Morey, and he talked to some reporters, and this is per Pompey. He said it's not even about this situation. This is in life. When you lose trust in someone, it's like a marriage. And when you lose trust in someone, it's pretty simple. So it's like breaking down like his issue really is with Daryl Morey.
yeah.
And this is all according to Keith Pompey, the Philadelphia Inquirer. So, and the only team that's talking with the Sixers right now is the Clippers, and the Clippers have no desire to increase their offer of a first-round pick and the pick swap and some expiring contracts. That's all they've done. Now, I also remember reading Morey wants an all-star level player in return. And in the back of my head, you're not going to get PG. You're not going to get Kawhi Leonard. The Clippers have made it known that Terrence Mann is untouchable. So the expiring contracts are the ones they re-signed this year on minimum deals, which includes Russell Westbrook. But I don't know if I don't know about the rules though. I don't know if some of the rules are like you can't trade until a certain time because you just re-signed. So I'm not sure Russ is a part of that or not. But it could potentially based on the rules. But I don't know. I doubt it because of the rules. But they have other young pieces there too. So like Bones Highland, I'm sure he's probably part of it. And we could probably do guesses all day. But if Morey's not budging, then based on these reports, at least recently, Morey is the holdup. So, and I don't blame him. Get what you can out of it. So, because otherwise, it seems like Harden is going to play.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get fined, so you might as well go and play. Get that 35 plus million and play. So,
yep. Yeah, man. Philly's situation is interesting. I hope that I just hope it gets resolved, man. It's kind of just tiring to see James Harden not playing basketball because of outside of basketball stuff,
Exactly. And let's say the trade doesn't get done. I still see James playing and competing. But right now we do. Because I'm not going to – anything happen, as we've seen before. So,
yeah,
he
man.
really just wants to force the situation. I feel like James is fully capable of doing that because he's done it before. But say they do trade James. Based on these reports, they now get the caliber player back, it seems like. And although to be fair, James Harden hasn't been an all-star. He hasn't played like an all-star with the Sixers. He had a good flash back in the postseason. There was a couple of I know he at least scored 40 in one of those games. But yeah.
Yeah.
So
he was solid, man. But
yeah,
when
it's keep that in mind, they may not get that. They're not going to get that solid type of player back.
Yeah.
Not
it's just that. Yeah. I hope that they will if they make the trade. But we've had this conversation before. I want to see James Harden playing his best basketball, regardless of what jersey he's in, and that may just mean that he needs to adjust his game, which I don't know if he's willing to do from what I've read about stuff with this whole trade debacle. But
and based on his reaction last year when he had the good game, remember he was like, "I do this. This is what I do."
Yeah.
So those comments doesn't make it seem like he wants to change his game. So
Yeah.
and how's that work with Nick Nurse? He's praised Nick Nurse, but Nick Nurse is more of a I don't know. Maybe it changes up in Toronto, but no, Nick Nurse is not like that. He's more of a. He's not going to be settled with just you dribbling the ball and you do this, your turn, my turn type thing. No. And can he buy in defensively what Nick Nurse wants to do? That's another question.
Yeah.
Although he does like what Nick Nurse is doing so far, but
at least right now.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But right now, if James Harden plays and he's not traded, Philly should be. It depends on how much of a distraction this will be. Because if this becomes a major distraction, it could fall off the rails. And I mean, not make the playoffs type thing. Mm-hmm. Although they should because of the talent they have. But right now, I'm going to say they do make the playoffs. If James Harden plays and is not a distraction, top 5. If he doesn't play, if they trade him and for a lower commodity, they'll probably be in that 5 to 8 range. And I'm saying that because that means there's more pressure on Joel Embiid, and I'm not sure they can hold up for a whole season. Mm. But if everything's hunky-dory, everything is great, Joel Embiid's healthy, James Harden stays, he plays well, top 5. Joel Embiid stays healthy for the whole season, even though James Harden leaves. I'll still say top 5. But realistically, though, they probably 5 through 8.
Yeah, I agree. I say they fall anywhere from 4 to 8 as of right now.
Right now, for sure. Yeah. And they could still got some good pieces, though. Maxey could take a leap where we don't feel that effect from Harden. So that's also a possibility. And if he does, I'll change it. I'll go back top 4, top 5, whatever. But right now, nah.
It's hard to say.
And based on what they get for Harden, if they do the trade, you're not going to get an all-star level player back. So you don't really move the needle. At least for Harden, you have potential that he can be Harden. That's it.
That's fair.
Otherwise, wherever you get, it's not going to be Harden potential.
Yeah.
Like I said, unless Maxey takes a leap and puts on an all-star level type season. That's about it. I feel bad for Joel Embiid. If this situation does take a turn, Joel Embiid, go ahead and make a request and get out of there. Philly, y'all start over. Y'all bum this franchise up again. It makes no sense how bad this franchise would be if this goes left.
Yeah.
Because what was the famous phrase again? I forgot.
For what? For Philly?
Yeah, what was that phrase? Embiid says it all the time too. I forgot.
All I can think of is the process.
That's it. There we go. The process.
Oh,
the process of tanking and losing on purpose. Getting Nerlens Noel back in the day. Got Joel Embiid, who turned out to be a great. He signed dude that plays in Orlando now. I forgot his name, but I forgot his name, man. What's dude's name in Orlando, man? Fultz. There we go.
Oh, Markelle Fultz.
Drafted Fultz instead of Jason Tatum. They had so many chances to improve this franchise.
Yeah.
That could be a whole another podcast just on the decisions Philly has made, bro.
The fall of Philadelphia.
I can go on a whole rant about Philly right now, but
yeah,
hopefully it turns out fine. Then we don't have to worry about this.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Shout out to the city of brotherly love, man. Hopefully y'all can get it together. We'll see.
We'll see, man.
Yeah.